Hello, you are listening to the Witch on Wine podcast, and I'm your host, Yolanda Shoshana. Thank you so much for tuning in. This show helps you bewitch your senses with wine. And today we're going to talk about bubbles. One of my favorite topics, champagne. I had the pleasure of trying La Caravelle Champagne a couple weeks ago, and I just had to have Rita Jammet come onto the show and tell us more about her fabulous bubbles. Welcome to the show, Rita.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, Yolanda.
Yes. So how did you end up in the fun world of champagne?
Well, my husband, Andre, and I owned La Caravelle restaurant in New York, which was an iconic French restaurant dated from 1960. And we owned it for the last 20 years of its life, which were from 84 to 2004. And while we were at La Caravelle, we had, we both love champagne. It's one of our passions in life. And so we were able to start our own cuvée, which was just poured at the restaurant, La Caravelle Champagne. It was a brut at the beginning. And then after a few years, it really took on. And in 2004, for a variety of reasons, we had to close the restaurant. And we thought we were going to close everything, stop everything. And our guests were telling us, hey, Rita and Andre, why not? What about the champagne? So we said, what about the champagne? They said, you don't need a restaurant to have champagne. Actually, it became a totally different premise because now it was a champagne brand on its own, which wasn't really poured in the restaurant whose name it carried. So that became my new project. And after 2004, it was not easy at the beginning, but little by little through the wonderful restaurant industry and connections, being an insider ourselves, we were able to start slowly, build up the name, and then now we are served in about 70 of New York's top restaurants, and champagne is distributed in about 6 states. So cool. It's more and more exciting every day.
That's really cool. That's great. So, and I'm assuming you plan on expanding your states as well, or is it mainly going to be, okay, great. But when people come to New York, they can have them a glass at some of the top restaurants. Okay,
absolutely.
Cool.
And they can also purchase it in the major stores as well.
Okay, wonderful. So I tried all three of your champagnes, which I loved. It's hard for me to choose which one I loved the most. So can you tell us a little bit more about your three selections?
Absolutely. We have what we call our brut, which is our basic champagne, and it's called our cuvée Nina. Nina is one of the three Caravelle ships that Christopher Columbus sailed on when he discovered the New World. Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria. So we thought it'd be fun to be really, when we had to name the cuvée, to name it cuvée Nina. So this is a blend of 40% Chardonnay, 30% Pinot Noir, and 30% Pinot Meunier, which are the three predominant grapes in Champagne. Because Champagne is all about the art of blending. Not only the different grapes, but also the different years, the different days. So it's a very special process. So this is our brut, which is non-vintage, meaning it's not just coming from 1 year, and very, very food friendly, as actually the rest of our line. And second, we have the Blanc de Blanc, which literally means white of whites, because it's 100% Chardonnay, which is the only white grape among the three grapes. And this is a lot more linear and a little more subtle and very little higher acidity, but very, very balanced, which was a big goal that we wanted to achieve, to have balanced wines, and extremely food friendly as well, and a very wide range. Then the third one, last but not least, as we say, is the rosé, which for me, I call it the double magic. Not only the bubbles, but then the color.
I like that.
So, our rosé is actually a blended rosé, meaning the winemaker takes the first blend, which constitutes the cuvée Nina, of the three grapes, and then they blend in some still Pinot Noir wine, and that becomes the rosé. So there's another way to make rosé is to the bleeding method, meaning or saigner, when you let the red grapes long enough, the raisins themselves, then you have the color from the skin will seep through and bleed, which gives it a kind of a pink color. So these are our three cuvées, and actually they're all non-vintage. However, I would say that the Cuvée Nina is aged for 2 years, and as is the rosé, and the Blanc de Blanc is aged for 3 years, and they're the blend of the 3 previous years.
Okay.
So
well, I mean, your rosé is, I love that double magic. It's wonderful. It's great for the summer, of course. Anytime I drink rosé year round. And actually, there was someone there who I was standing next to during your tasting that said that normally she couldn't drink champagne because it gives her a headache, but yours did not do that. So I just want to throw that out there too for those who, are worried about headaches and bubbles. Like, I think this is a good one, great one to try.
Thank you. We've heard that from a lot of people, which is a great stamp of approval, I would say.
Yeah.
Important.
And wonderful, and I would second the great with food, which, a lot of people think champagne is just for celebrations and birthdays and anniversaries, but drink champagne all the time, everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm biased, but I think you have the right idea.
Well, yeah. But what makes your champagne different than the other ones that are out there?
Well, first of all, it's our story. It's Andre and Rita from La Caravelle. We have years of experience in hospitality, and it's all about making people feel welcome and happy, that basically after they leave your place, they're happier than when they came in. Then what was very important for us is the quality, but still approachable, not only price-wise, but taste profile-wise. Our champagne is made by a winery, which is part of the Laurent Perrier group, and it's very, very high quality and very approachable on the price, and also easy to drink. With or without food. And then being former restaurateurs, it was crucial for us that our wines be very food friendly, which is beautiful, because between the 3 cuvées, you can really carry out a whole meal without having to drink still wine, because the rosé can even marry with burger or barbecue So that was very important for us.
So speaking of the price, what can you give me a range of what your champagne would cost if I went to a store or to buy it, or from you on your website? What's your range?
Yes, I think you with the liquor laws, you have to buy it from a retail store. We cannot sell directly. We can only sell to restaurants and stores. But obviously, it depends between one retailer and the other. But you can find the Cuvée Nina for around $33, $35.
Oh, that's amazing! For real?
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. And
oh my God!
And the rosé Blanc de Blanc around $39.
Whoa!
Which is really, they're very approachable.
That's amazing. I'm shocked, actually. That's bang for your buck, people. And I love my bubbles, and I've tried quite a few. You all know I drink often. Wow. Okay. I'm going to stock up for the summer myself. That's so great. Good to know.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. So, people love champagne. Why do you think that champagne comes across as so glamorous? What do you think the secret to that is?
I think champagne is a very unique beverage, because, first of all, the history of how it's made, how it was empirically discovered, and who in the whole world, we're talking very global reach, was not only drinking but loving champagne, starting with the Emperor Napoleon. You have Winston Churchill, Coco Chanel. The Dom Pérignon actually discovered by pure empirical method the bubbles, in how to make the bubbles in the champagne. So that already is a wonderful feature, that gives you the beauty, the power. It's also, in a way, a luxury, but a luxury you can afford.
Right.
But it is a luxury, meaning the process is it takes a long time, and there's a special know-how to make champagne. Mm-hmm. And it comes from that special place with the special soil and a special climate. And then the know-how from these winemakers that have been making this for centuries it's a very hard process. I mean, it's a tough process, and it takes time. So mm-hmm. all of that makes it something that's not so ordinary or easy to get. And then, it's great to drink champagne every day, as you were saying.
Yes.
But it's a party in a bottle. That's how I like to call it. Like when you open champagne, and why not have a party every day? It's not so bad, right? So all of this put together, really.
Yes, not at all. I love that. Why not have a party every day? That's perfect. So I know there are a lot of people who don't know a lot about champagne. So what suggestions can you give for somebody who wants to learn more about bubbles? Because, a lot of people don't even know that it's about the blending. They think, they throw grapes in a bottle and there you go. So what tips can you offer?
I would say the most important thing, and this was for all wines, is first find what you like. Do you like beverages on the sweeter side, on the more dry or high acidity, or round or linear? So that if you know your style, it's then easier to go find something that you like. And obviously, you find that by experimenting and trying and tasting, which is really the way to see what you like. Because at the end of the day, it's all about you getting that bottle, knowing some about it. You can go online and find out important information about how it's made to explain what you're getting in the taste. And then at the end of the day, it's about you being happy when you got that bottle and you're drinking it, and it's a happy moment. That's what's the most important. The technical details, yes, they're important after a certain level, but at the end of the day, it's an Epicurean journey.
Yeah,
really see, get what you love, and then makes you happy. That's everybody's quest for happiness. So if you taste, you go to the store. Sometimes they have tastings, and you can see each house has a style, depending on how where their vineyards are located in Champagne, more or less sweet, and then the house style, because the winemaking will change the style, and each house is known for a certain style. Plus, you have the grower champagnes who are basically it's a winemaker who owns the land, and from that land he's making the champagne. He or she is making the champagne. So, contrary, as opposed to the big houses who own lands, but they buy from several places and they have their own blending, in that every year it's the same style.
Right.
So that way it's important to find out what you like, I would say. And when you understand a little bit how it's made with 2 fermentations, and it takes time. It takes really time to achieve that perfect balance with the bubbles and the taste and the style of sweet, less sweet. So that's the story.
Well, I think you all have taken the right amount of time and done something so beautiful with your bubbles. And you recently changed your label, right? It's not so drastically different, but it's like people will know it's you, right? Okay.
Yes, when we've had this label for. No, you can recognize it anyway with our big red logo, La Caravelle, which actually is written with a paintbrush from an artist. The artist actually painted the murals in our restaurant. If you go on our website, lacaravelle.com, you'll see the story and the history behind that. So that's why it's not a font. It's the artist painter who did with the brush. He painted that La Caravelle red logo.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
And we also have the 3 gold colors: the white gold, the yellow gold, and the pink gold. So that's another symbol for each of our cuvées. What we wanted is that when you enter the store, you could tell exactly what it is. You don't have to go pick up the bottle and read what type of champagne it is. So that's another thing.
Well, thank you so much for your wonderful words of wisdom on your bubbles. And so if somebody, though, is living in another state and they can't find you, can they ask for your stuff? So maybe the store will carry it? Is that a possibility?
That, or stores can ship almost to every state in the U.S.
Okay, cool.
So you can call Sherry Lehman, Morel, Acker Merrill in New
Oh,
York.
that's true. Right.
Yeah, and they
Definitely.
can ship in almost every state.
That is very true.
Yeah.
And when people are in New York, don't forget to look for your champagne in the restaurant. That'd be awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a delight to be on the show.
Thank you so much.
And cheers.
Cheers
to you and everyone.
Cheers to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, it is Yolanda Shoshana at yolandashoshana.com. And cheers to your magical life. Bye.
Bye.